when he is ready, and he is ready. So start game starting up, and we're going into game number 2 of the finals between aTnDelphi and aSperaSenin. So once again, guys, sometime either tonight or tomorrow, the complete list of players who have qualified for the round of 16 will be updated on the Wikipedia page. If you want that link, I'm going to post it in the chat right now. If you missed it because you weren't in the chat for whatever reason, then you can just ask me and I will paste it for you again, so just let it be known. But right now we're getting into game number 2 of the finals here, and it's time to go. So in the bottom left hand corner we do have our red Zerg player, aSperaSenin. And in the top right hand corner we do have our pro player aTnDelphi. See what these guys want to do. Both of them going for that overload at 9, not the extractor trick. Check the overlays actually off. Yes, it is. Just checking. Don't want to fuck up now, do I? Don't want to mess up now, do I? So Delphi is not doing much right now, and neither is Senin. I'm glad you like my headset. I love my headset too. It's awesome. It's so comfortable. Like, I used to have a Razer headset, and like I used like a Razer Death Adder and I used a Razer Black Widow, but I got a new headset more because I just fancied a new headset. Like, there wasn't anything wrong with my Razer one. My god, it's the most comfortable thing in the world. I can wear my glasses with it. It doesn't hurt. It's just so nice. So I'm glad I got the Siberia V2s, and I'm glad it's pink. Hatch first from both players, pretty much instantaneously. Senin going to take his gas right after his hatchery. Going to be able to put his pool down in a second, whereas Delphi's actually going for his pool a little bit faster. So against Senin last game, he went for that kind of roach time with the knives. It was so good. Delphi just dealt with it so well in terms of pulling the right amount of units where you needed them, and from there he basically had a good lead. He was able to max out faster than his opponent. It looked a little bit rough for him when he ran into all them fungal growths, but at the end of the day that was just how far ahead he was. I mean, if that was a max army against a max army, Delphi would have just lost the game right then. So Delphi was just so far ahead that he was kind of able to tank them fungal growths in that last game. So his gas is going to be a little bit later than his opponent. He's going to be about 60 gas behind. His pool just finishing up as well. And we'll see if Senin wants to continue mining gas, and yes he does. Going to continue mining straight to 150 here, at least, and probably even further. Starting up his speed, so speed will be faster of course, and again we're just going to wait and kind of, I'm not going to say see, we're just going to wait until he decides what to do with his gas, and most probably it's going to be Baneless. He could rush up to roaches, but if you're rushing up to roaches, the need for the speed on those Zerglings isn't as necessary. So 30-second kind of advantage, 25-second advantage for Senin in terms of speed, but Delphi should be able to deal with that pretty well. He's going to be able to throw down his injects now. So is Senin. His queen's just a little bit later, and that's because of course he went for that gas before pool. Delphi back at home, he is continuing to mine gas as well. Throwing down the Bane nest just out the front. Going to use it as a little bit of a wall, which I like. It's always good. He's going to try and take down this Overlord. I'm not too sure if it will go down. Overlord on 43 health. The Queen getting ever so close. They might be able to get into this little crack here. And 27 health Overlord survives. So Senin a little bit lucky there. A little bit fortunate. He hasn't thrown down his Bane nest yet, even though he had the faster gas. So right now that faster gas has been for absolutely nothing from Senin, apart from the kind of fact that he can morph in more Banelings right now if he would need to, but that's not quite into not completely necessary right now. And once again we actually see the very fast lair from Senin. So again, that's why Senin's not throwing down the Banelings. He's going for this very fast lair. We'll see if it works as well as it did last time around. because it did work very well, but Delphi just kind of dealt with it pretty well as well. And Delphi, is he going to get a scout off? No, the evolution chamber even going to be able to block the way there. So that link did not get in for Delphi still. So Delphi not getting the kind of scout he expected to get, not like he got last time. His layers are pretty similar timing though, so both these guys going for pretty fast layers. Their gas is finishing up pretty similar times as well. And once more, it's just Delphi. He's got a little bit less gas because of the way the openings went. And he will actually have these lings running by right now. His Baneland is not going to be able to chase too much more. He's got a few lings out now to finish off chasing. And that means he will probably be able to blow up plants. All the lings do get cleared up. So in fact, that was a pretty nice little trade for Delphi. He only lost, what, one worker? Sorry, I can't find it. He lost one worker and he actually took out a fair few lings. So probably worthwhile because, of course, Senin had to make a fair few lings in order to go for that. And both players going for very fast spiders here. And they're starting within a few seconds of each other. And things are evening up here. But here comes the counter attack from Delphi. Is it going to be enough, though? Not really. I mean, he's got a Baneland or two coming across the map as well. He doesn't really want to morph in too many more Banelands. But he's forced Senin to make a lot of lings of his own. The Baneland now coming in. Only explodes on 2 lings though. And Delphi will have to go back home with this pressure. Some Banelands leading in again. But the Spancore is going to be able to get them pretty quickly. And going to get straight up into the natural here. And going to be able to pick off the Queen. And actually gets a huge amount of lings there. So Delphi with that one Baneland gets a huge amount of lings, as well as the fact he bought time to pick off the Queen. So very nice move from Delphi. It was a bit dubious going into 3 Spinecores, but it worked out for him. And the Spires are about to finish now. Now, did Delphi get any scouting information? He didn't see the Spire, but at the same time his opponent hasn't seen his Spire. So both these players are a little bit in the dark, and we're going to see the 8 meters coming up for Delphi, but Senin with a very nice choice to go fly Carapace, as we do actually see a Queen for Delphi, but been picked off by a few lings, and that drone that was trying to make the third base picked off too. So Senin actually going to have the faster third base. He's got a little bit of an advantage. But Delphi's going to have 9 meters a lot faster, and that means if he can find his opponent's mutalist, he's going to be in a much better position as Senin. He's just a little bit, he can make them mutalists, he's just not right now. Which is the real kind of issue. And already Delphi gonna just go get ready to start picking off these overlords around the map. At the same time though, Delphi's gonna have his own overlords picked off as Senin starts to make his mutas start to come out as well. So both these players now know it's muta against muta. Delphi starts up his fly Carapace almost immediately, and both players now starting to build spore crawlers as well and getting ready to defend. And Delphi actually missing this overlord just to the right hand side. So Mew's going to come into the back here, as Delphi also tries to run by lings into the third. But you know, that means Delphi's Mews are actually a little bit out of position to deal with this. So Delphi actually going to get a little bit of damage from there. He could turn around and get this one mutant, which he does. Every mutant does count here, remember. And if we have a little bit of a look at the game, it's 11 meters against 11 meters. Delphi just popping a 12 meter there. Delphi's got a lot more overloads out on the map. He's got 7 more drones as well, and both players' third base is just finished up. So right now it's actually in favour of Delphi in every situation. So Delphi, he's in a good spot. You're gonna see these meters fly down to the bottom side of the map. These 11 meters for Senin. Delphi might turn around and go try and fight him, but he doesn't have +1 Carapace, which might make his fight a little bit bad. And he will engage here. Senin deciding to engage as well, but he will lose a couple of meters here, and Delphi, because of the higher meter count, will come out on top of that fight. And Senin now in full on retreat, and that means the next time they fight, Delphi will have the +1 as well. But Delphi just going to be cautious, going to back off a little bit. And Delphi now just flying back to his third base to see what he can do. More meters continuing to come in for both players. Delphi now going for +1 fly attacks, whereas his opponent's going for +2 fly Carapace. So we'll see which one of them comes out ahead as the game goes on. Delphi sees where the meters of his opponent are, and he's going to swing straight around to the third base, see if he can do any damage here. Even if he can pick off this gas, that'd be a huge pick off. He actually just clears the tower though, and heads back home to defend from this little Ling attack going in from Senin. Couple of spine caller and a queen and a couple of spine callers though. Sorry, a couple of queens and a spine caller though. Should clean this up. A nice transfuse on the queen as well will help out with that. As more Lings start to stream in, but Delphi's already got Muse over there, so it'd be a bad decision to continue with that. But now we actually see Lings running in from Delphi, and whereas Senin's units, they're actually very far out of position. The Queen's going to fall down here almost immediately. Spore Cores going to be picked off, because if Spore Cores are picked off, then it's going to be much easier for Delphi's mules to come in and do damage. And as soon as this happens over to the third, Delphi comes into the main base, starts picking off them drones here, and very nice play from Delphi, multi-pronged aggression. Maybe going to get that extractor, but no, he's going to back off in plenty of time so that he doesn't pick a fight. And Delphi just starting to pick his opponent apart piece by piece, and the supplies reflect that, with Delphi 50 supply up on his opponent. It's 24 meters here against the 23 meters of his opponent, and Delphi actually going to come in and fight right now. Just before the +2 kicks in for Senin, and he picked off a couple of muters there, and every muter does count, of course, and Senin will have +2 in just a second, but +1 fly attacks is going to finish for Delphi, so it's going to be even-ish in a moment. Delphi just streamed across the map with queens even. Queens on the way to help out with this fight, and once the queens get here for Delphi, I'm not really too sure what Senin's going to be able to do. Delphi's actually coming in and fighting, even though he's got the kind of lower defense upgrades. He's going to have to try and wait for the queens. The queens are continuing to march across the map. Transfuses going down on these mutalisks as well. Delphi keeping their mutalisks nice and high on health. And with these queens, he's just going to have so much extra anti-air. It's going to be ridiculous. And Senin realizes he can't really attack into that. More and more muters still come out from both players. Delphi finally going to start transitioning into the infestation pit. But I think Delphi's just going to win the game right here with this push, with these muters and queens, basically. And he's just playing defensively right now, keeping them queens there so that he can just keep being aggressive with the muters, keep in an aggressive position, and be ready to pounce at any kind of movement from Senin. If Senin moves out of position, he's going to be straight on this third base, and as the Lings join up here, you don't see any reason for Delphi to delay anymore, and Senin just doesn't know quite what to do, I don't think, as Delphi he doesn't have the muter lead for much longer here, but now the Lings are going to start streaming in. The queens are going to help out here quite a lot too, and with that extra DPS from the queens on the muters, it should be more than enough for Delphi. Senin though, he's still standing strong for now. No real transfuses going down for Delphi. I don't think he's got that many. No, he doesn't have any. He's got one transfuse now. In fact, the queens, well, a couple of the queens in the back not fighting. One transfuse does go down there. Low Lings on the ground will help to clear it up for Delphi, but Senin looks like he might continue to take the mutant lead here. And the only problem is, of course, these queens, and these queens were the kind of changing factor in this fight, because now, as more mutants fly in, the queens will just continue to go down. And GG, thank you from Delphi, as Senin throws out the GG, well played. And we have our victor, guys. Delphi will be our final qualifier to the SC2Improve Winter League from finishing first. All the other points will be decided. They'll be tallied up very shortly, and we'll be announcing them very soon.